What's up? AG Sports, sick again, back again, still doing the videos. Last week, kind of a shitty overall performance, but it was really aggravating, even more so than usual when you lose. So, just to recap, we did go 1-2-1 last week. One of the losses was the teaser, and that was the Patriots and the Eagles. Eagles covered their part. Patriots couldn't do their part. They lost by 10. We had them up to the 8.5. That wasn't too bad. The one win that we got was the Bills minus 10, and I did show you guys last week that I had the Bills minus 16 on my numbers and through the algorithm and things. They ended up winning by 17, so the algorithm really kicked ass in that one spot. That was perfect. The other two, oh my god, they were just annoying the shit out of me. So one of them was the 49ers-Falcons game. We had the over 45, and so just some, full transparency, when I first got that number, it was at 44, and then I had doubled down at 44.5, and then I went just a little bit more at the 45. So they get to 44 points, and that total should have easily soared over. If you didn't watch that game, oh my god. The Falcons got in the red zone 3 different times, and not just in the red zone, but within the 5-yard line 3 different times. All 3 times they could not convert, and the stat that I keep looking at is that they ran 20 plays in the red zone and came away with 3 points. You would think on one of those times, they end up kicking a field goal, right? Because they had a 15-point deficit. You think, okay, kick the field goal and at least bring it down under 2 touchdowns. And I think it may have been 17 at one point. So same thing, you kick a field goal and you bring it down to just a 2-possession game. It didn't make sense to me because they had already been turned away twice. You would think, hey, let's take the points here and let's at least change it to a 2-possession game, because now we at least have a chance. With a 3-possession game, even if you got the touchdown, you still needed 2 more. So regardless of you got the touchdown or the field goal, you were still going to need 2 more scores. You might as well take the field. Anyways, it just pissed me off because they got there so many times and they did absolutely nothing with it. And in the end, they end at 44 points. And I think it was 12 minutes of just absolutely no scoring or something like that. But anyways, that was one of the losses. The other one was a push, and that was the Patriots-Colts game. We had the over 44. That one did end on exactly 44, but we really saw the exact same thing there. We saw just either settling for field goals or people being turned away at the goal line and going for it on 4th and goal. And so, again, another one that could have easily gone over. Just, damn, coin didn't flip our way that time. So it happens. It's part of the game. I get it. Try not to dwell on it too long, but it is especially aggravating when you are actually watching the game. If you just see the score at the end, you're like, okay, well, whatever. But if you watch that game, you're just kicking your own ass the whole time. Anyways, let's get back to it. Let's start for this week. So, first game is the Ravens-Bengals. I got the over 43.5. That's the number I got it at. I think over 44, you're still good. The 45 is where it's at right now at my bookie. You may be able to find a few other spots that have it at the 44 or the 44.5 at least. You are probably okay as far as my numbers say. You are still good at the 45, but 44 is a key number. So if you can, and if you don't mind paying the extra juice to get it down to the 44, I definitely would. 44 is really where I want to be. Again, if you find somewhere that's at 43.5, great, but I don't see this number going back down any between now and kickoff. If anything, it's probably going to go up. So if you can, buy that number now. But let's get into why we're doing this. So, first things here, the Bengals, for as good as their defense is, for some reason, seems to struggle at stopping good running teams, especially heavy running teams. So, 49ers, just 2 weeks ago, they total out 49. That game, again, goes to overtime. Before that, they play against the Chargers. Austin Eckler had a good game that game. They go up to 60 or 63. So, the Steelers game, and Steelers didn't really do much in this one, but that whole offense really petered out in this game. But the total still went over 60. And then if you go way back to the beginning of November when they played the Browns ended up putting up 41 points on this team. The Jets, who are another heavy running team, lots of overs, a lot of games that got over 60 points, and now we're only being asked to get to the 43.5. So, or 44 if you buy at the 1 point. I really, really like it on the fact that the Ravens are going to run, and the Ravens know how they want to run. They know what they want to run. This is a divisional game. They know where the weaknesses are at for the Bengals. And John Harbaugh is going to be scheming up something here. I can guarantee you he's going to pull something out because they got just ass whipped in that last one. So he's going to be running a different playbook here. Again, Lamar Jackson has not practiced this week, and I honestly don't think he's going to play. I think you are going to have Huntley out there again, who actually did had a pretty nice showing against the Packers last week. So I do believe we're going to see Huntley again, but I think we're going to see a really effective run game. We're going to see a lot of real quick passing attacks. We're going to see a lot of rollouts, a lot of fast-moving pieces for the Ravens, and a lot of attacking the weak spots against that Bengals defense. On the flip side, though, the Bengals, as you know, have an amazing trio as far as the wide receiver room is concerned. The Ravens, though, have just been depleted all along their defense, but primarily in that secondary. They have 4 guys on IR. They have another 3 guys that are going to be out. And then Tavon Young is questionable, which as of right now, I believe he is going to play, but with the questionable tag, you never know. Then there could still be COVID lingering out there somewhere. So the secondary is all sorts of beat up. I fully expect that Bengals receiving game to just be on fire this week. If you have guys like Jamar Chase or T. Higgins and you're in your fantasy championships, because I'm not telling you they're all going to hit, but I would not be scared to put them in there. Odds are they're all going to get at least a little bit of something, and one, possibly 2 of them are probably going to have big days. One trend that I have seen, not just this year but last year as well, is that in that second game, in the rematch with these divisional games, not only do we see a lot of closer games, and primarily we see the winner of the first game either lose or just kind of barely squeak by in that second game, but we see a much higher scoring game. In the first game, I believe I just showed it to you, it was like 41-17. This is probably going to still be about 41 points for the Bengals, but a little bit, or a lot higher, I should say, for the Ravens. I'm personally predicting this game to be like a 40-30 kind of game. But for that reason, I do believe the Bengals, again, the receivers really get going. They have a great day. Joe Burrow has a great day. Everybody kind of comes out a winner with this one. So I really like that game plan, and I don't think they're going to have to change anything, especially because Mixon is banged up. I think they're going to really lean into that passing attack, as so over 43.5 or over 44, if you're okay with buying the point, is where I want to be for this game. That's the first one. The second one here is actually going to be a teaser bet. And, if you wanted to just straight out fade me on this one, I wouldn't blame you, because the teasers have not been very friendly to me lately. But let me go over it with you, and I'll give you the reasons behind the pick here. So I'm going to actually start off with the Packers game, and I have the Packers as -1 with the tease. It has moved to half point, so it's at 7.5 right now. But as far as the numbers are concerned and the algorithm, the numbers here detail out to us the Packers should really be 9-point favorites. Really, everything is in the direction of the Packers this week. They are at home. They have a rest advantage, even though they played, I believe it was Sunday night. The Browns ended up playing Monday, so they do have a day of a rest advantage, and they're playing at home in the cold at Lambeau. As of right now, we think it's going to be Baker Mayfield, but we're not sure. All the numbers here point to a Packers victory. I'm going to tease it down because the 9 to the 7.5 is just too close for me, so bringing it down to the 1.5, and then we're going to combine that with the Saints down as far as the total is concerned. Saints Dolphins under 44.5. Again, the 44 is a key number, and the Saints and Dolphins have great defenses with very stagnant, slow-paced offenses. Again, a lot of DVOA numbers pointing to just heavy defensive usage for both of those teams. Really, both of these teams are going to try and rely on their defense to get them the wins and just not making mistakes. So we're going to make that our teaser of the second leg here. Dolphins Saints under 44.5 with the Packers -1. Thanks to guys. You have a great day and good luck out there.